that. Thank you so much for joining. And we're going to be sending this out to YouTube as well. And have you ever done a group session with your genius? Maybe let me know that. Have you done a group session with your genius? I'd love to hear about that. All right, so we are live on YouTube. That's taken care of. Also, we have a lot of Black Friday specials coming up. And let's make sure we also do this. I think I have to pop up there and okay, fantastic. So what I wanted to really visit with you today is all about global healing. Global healing is something that is needed right now. Global healing is something that is very, very powerful. And you can do this really anytime with your genius. We're going to be going over how to do it. And you can follow along on your genius. And so I want to talk to you all about that. And Celine, thank you so much for joining today. It's really a pleasure to have you. Liz, it's really nice to have you here too. And I've done some group sessions, she says, and they were very successful and awesome. You know, when you do a group session, you don't even realize until you do one how amazing it is and how much people love them, how much people respond to them. And you can really, I'm going to switch off the camera just for a second. You can really grow your practice this way. Get out into the community. This is a community that we're moving into now that is very receptive to energy and vibration. You are on the cutting edge with a tool that is so cool that can benefit people. And I really want to talk about that a little bit, about why we have so much love and keep going back to the genius. So just a couple of things to know about if you're an affiliate or you'd like to become an affiliate. We are doing a giveaway right after the holiday season ends. We're going to take the highest amount of business referred, and we are going to give away an iPad, just like an iPad new in the box iPad. So I think it's an iPad 9. So that'll be brand new one. Then we have a really cool Android 8-inch tablet. We're also going to give that away to number 2 spot. And number 3, we also have another Android. I may have said the order wrong. It's 10-inch one will be number 2, and 8-inch one will be to number 3. And so we'll have a first, second, and third spot. So if you've never known about our affiliate program, it's right here on the Start Here menu where it says Share and Earn. And you can learn all about how to create custom links. So you can, I'm going to put that in the chat, but do share the genius with other people. And if you're watching this on the recording or on YouTube, just make sure to check out geniusbiofeedback.com. Go to the Share and Earn menu, and you too can share the genius with other people. We really appreciate it. We work mostly through referrals. That's how we've grown over the past years that we've had the genius, really essentially since 2013, but really the genius really made its debut officially in 2016. All right. So just so you know, you have the referrals there. For anybody that might want to get their genius, we have some fabulous Black Friday deals for people, and those are in effect now. Libraries go on special tomorrow at 30% discount. All libraries will be available at a 30% discount. And that's what I'm probably going to be doing some, just jumping on and doing some live streams all about different topics on the library so you can learn more about them. I'm just going to try to get this, continue to get this set up here. So in a moment, we're going to be doing our global healing, and also our Black Friday specials are all here, so you can check them out. We're going to be getting started with that. And I really wanted to talk to you today about, we've been telling people about the genius in terms of 3 words, which is scan, discover, and relax. So we've been talking about the genius in terms of 3 parts: scan, discover, and relax. And so I want you to think about that, about one of the reasons that the genius has taken off. I'm trying to get my groove on here, trying to get organized. One of the reasons I really believe that the genius has taken off is because it's not like other programs where you might get a frequency generator, or it might play the solfeggios, or it might calm you down. They have all those calm apps. Why is the genius in particular something that you would go back to, day in and day out? It is because of the discovery part. And I want to really submit to you, during the time that we're living in, you may have noticed this, that we're not always getting the truth. And when human beings have a fundamental, I don't know if I can say this in a politically correct way. Let's just say there are certain channels that used to be really great ways of finding out all about maybe Royal Rife and all the secret little healing things and frequency things and Nikola Tesla. And you used to be able to go to certain places to find that information. And you guys, if you know what I'm talking about, wink, wink, nod, nod. It's just not so easy. Some of that information has been withheld. It has been taken down. You have to go to other places to look for it. And what I want to tell you is that when human beings are either lied to or the truth is withheld, that's really excruciating for human beings. I think we have a fundamental desire and a fundamental need to really have the truth. Like that is just something I think every human being is kind of thirsty for, whether it be our origins or how am I doing or what is the nature of the world around us. We just have this thirst. I think it's really part of who we are as human beings. And when we don't have the truth, I think there's something fundamental missing in us, just like it's missing a nutrient. Like if we had a nutrient deficiency, we have like a truth deficiency, and it really affects us, even I would submit to on a cellular level. And so when you're running the genius, you're getting this instant access to a greater understanding of yourself and the world. And I think that's incredibly healing in and of itself, because we talk about scan, discover, and relax being the three parts of the genius. And the discover part, even if you didn't have the frequencies, which is the relax part, I think you would still get benefit from the genius because you have that ability to raise your level of awareness, to raise your level of the truth. And I'm sure that all of you who are on here have that experience of why you tap in. Why do you tap in to the genius? You'll probably even like have these days where we don't run a genius session for a while. And then maybe you're running it on your clients and you just have this moment, you're like, you know what, I really need to know about my vitamins, or I really need to know what is the emotion that's blocking me, or I really need to see which of these organ systems is the one that's the weakest. And I just think that gives us an ability to interact with the truth about ourselves and about the world around us by doing a scan, and people recognize the truth. Whatever's been programmed into the genius, whatever the algorithms are, they frequently reflect back to us the truth. We see it in ourselves, and we see it constantly in our clients. And so there's an aspect to health, which is truth, which is knowledge, which is interacting with what really is. And that's an important aspect of the genius. Now, something else that's really important is that collective healing is very, very powerful. So when I do a healing on somebody, that's fabulous. But if Lynn McTaggart did the groundbreaking work on this, she did say the perfect number is 8, but I don't think we should limit ourselves to that. So when she had people coming together and working on somebody who was the client, the subject, whatever you want to call it, she worked on the person alone, she didn't have the same really exponential effect of when people were working together. So when people work together, just like we're going to do today, then our efforts are multiplied. There's a magical thing that happens when people set their intention and their genius together, which you only need a few, to come together, and it creates this massively multiplied effect. And so that's something that you can do. You could ask people, other genius users, or even if you just have the genius and you have a group come together and they all set their intention, I still believe that that's very, very powerful. And I think it's good for every genius user to have some group on a regular basis, maybe even just once a month, because you get the opportunity to introduce people to what we're doing. And people really need community. And if you invite them to some group that you have on a regular basis, women's wellness group, or I'm interested in weight loss, or I'm interested in improving my digestion, and you just have them come for your group, and hey, anybody here could get a quick scan. And also we're going to scan collectively. When you scan people collectively, people realize that they're part of something. They really are like, oh my gosh, I'm an important part of this. And everybody who is scanned, especially when you have everybody speak into the microphone at the same time, like on a Zoom, it's really, really powerful. And everybody is going to be reflected in the testing. You can tell people, you know, we've all arrived here. It's no accident we're arriving here at this time. There is a meaning to this, and you're here for a reason. You're an important part of this. And when we do our testing, our flower essences, all of these things, we're going to see ourselves in these different frequencies. And people absolutely love that. And then you can send them their frequencies on their capsule, and they love that as well. And it's just great fun. It helps you to bring people together in a place where people just feel super isolated these days. So I hope you will maybe establish yourself to do just one regular program. It's also a great way for you to raise your level of visibility and to get more clients, because people come to your groups and they see you as an authority. Like, oh, she's running a group, like she must be really good at this. And then when they see you as an authority, then they want to come to you for an individual session. So it's great fun. There's so many ways, you know, we did the remedy plate class yesterday. There's so many wonderful ways that you can have fun with the genius. You can be super creative with the genius. Let's talk about global healing. There's never been a more, you know, important time for us to think positive thoughts for the planet. I believe we're in this, you know, spiritual struggle right now. And I know we're going to come out on the positive side. I feel like there are two different trajectories right now. Like it's like sort of, you know, I feel like, and you guys can tell me here, because we're probably all very part of a similar tribe, that I have a memory of coming into this life and feeling like we are stepping into the new earth. Like whatever personal struggle I happen at the end of the story is going to be stepping into, it's going to be filled with healers, and we're going to be using all types of new positive technology, and we're going to have peace within ourselves. We're going to have peaceful relationships. We're going to live in a time like no other. And it's going to be really something spectacular and something very amazingly unique that's never happened before. So I don't know if any of you, and you can tell me in the chat, if you've ever had that type of a memory. Like I didn't have any type of a feeling in myself that it would be disastrous, or it would be sort of some of the things that we always think about might happen, which are not on the positive side. But it does seem like there are these like two different camps, or two different maybe possibilities, you know, where we, you know, step into less freedom or whatever it is. And then I have this other vision. So I think it is going to be a good outcome, but it really is impingent upon us. You know, I really believe it's a choice, and it has something to do with our thoughts and our intentions, and even the way that we resolve, you know, situations within ourselves, even situations within our own life. And there's always the concept, as above, so below, as outside of ourselves, so inside. So in other words, if we have conflict that we see on the outside, it is reflective of some conflict that we are experiencing within ourselves, some anger, some frustration, something that we haven't been able to resolve within ourselves. And some of the best things that we can do for the planet is this personal healing. As we come to love ourselves, as we come to more peace within ourselves, all of those sort of molecules that begin to unwind all of those blocked emotions or painful emotions, I believe it just, you know, extends out to our whole universe. And the minute that all of us are switching our consciousness into that peaceful place within ourselves, it kind of coalesces and we begin to see it on the outside. And it's almost like all of that other stuff just dissolves and goes away. And I know that sounds sometimes like an impossibility, but I do believe the spiritual teachings that, you know, that anything that we're running into, anything that we're seeing, somehow we are connected to. And that goes back to the Hawaiian practice, the Ho'oponopono, you know, please forgive me. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I love you. Because we're saying no matter what we're seeing, somehow we might have a little molecule, a little dust speck of connection to that. And maybe we can do our part to resolve or ask for forgiveness. However we have been a part of this, please let it be forgiven, and let it be changed, let it be transformed into something new, into something positive. So with that thinking in mind, we can continue to use the genius on ourselves for own personal healing, continue to help other people, help to uplift them. That's one of the best things that we can do. And then they also have their consciousness shifted, and they're transformed, and their anger and their resentment and their jealousy, all of that can also be released and then reflected in their world. And so collectively, we can help ourselves on this personal level, which I really believe in my heart of hearts has a huge contribution to planetary healing. And then we can also use our genius just going to the heart of the matter and saying, hey, we're going to send sort of frequencies collectively for everybody all over the world. And these are intended. There's the thing about consciousness is there's no limit to our intention. So just the same amount of energy that it could take to send the frequencies to one person, we learn in energy and vibrational medicine that it could take the same amount of time and the same amount of effort to send it to every soul, 8 billion souls on the planet, and the whole planet itself, the material of, Gaia, of the actual earth itself, send those intentions. So it doesn't take any more effort. Didn't Abraham Hicks said something like, it takes just as much energy to manifest a thimble or something as it does to manifest a castle. It kind of makes you think, it's really just in your intention. The shift is really just in our thoughts. So with that in mind, when you're doing global healing, and we've done this over the years, we actually utilize the client name is going to be Mother Earth, or it's going to be Earth and all of its inhabitants. It's going to be all of the, incarnated souls of planet Earth, however you want to say it, or even just focusing on the land, the planet, the oceans itself. So let's go ahead and have some fun today and get into this. And you can have your genius with you right now, or turn on your device, and we'll just say global healing. Let's say peace, and let's do this. Let's say personal. I don't have my my other device, so I'm having to do the keyboard here. I should get my keyboards connected. Personal healing. Oh, I should have dictated it, right? I'm sort of thinking at the same time I'm doing this. Joy and peace for all. Okay, and so date of birth, that's going to go, you're going to use today's date. So you just use this. Something interesting, let's see if it's true on the Genius. I think now you can actually do future dates. So you could put an intention for a future, something that you want to experience out in the future, and utilize it as well. So you can go ahead and let's get today's date today being that Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you for coming to class and hanging out with me. I really, really appreciate it. Or maybe you're live on YouTube. If you are, a warm welcome to you on YouTube. And let's go ahead and see what we've got there. Okay, so we've got global healing, personal healing, joy, and peace for all. And let's see what we've got going on the Zoom currently here. So let me see with our participants what we can do. Let's see if we can. What we've got here. What I was thinking is we can actually switch on everybody's voice if everybody wants to contribute their voice, and we can record our AEIOU together. And you can have your intention. You can even, as you speak today, have an intention that your voice is a surrogate for all global, for all people who would be willing to accept these frequencies today. So you could be a surrogate where you're participating, and your intention when you're speaking is not only your voice, but you're a surrogate speaking for anybody today who needs help, who has anxiety, who's worried about the future. And your voice is going to be a collective representation of their their needs, their wants, what they would like to work on, how they would like to be healed. And then in that way, as your surrogacy, they're going to be included in the healing. So we're going to do that in just a moment. So maybe lower any other interfering voices or anything that might be around you right now, and see if you can just have it so we can hear your voice when we do this. So let's continue with the analysis. And we're going to also have a picture in just a moment. So global healing, peace, and maybe joyful resolution. Okay, so hopefully you're doing this as well, putting all this information into your Genius. And you can even record the voice as you're hearing it through the computer, as you're hearing you can record all of our voices collectively as well. We're also going to be utilizing a picture of the Earth, so you can just go to Google and just get an image representation. Image representations work really, really well, like anything that represents Mother Earth or Gaia. So if I just put in, I'm going to show this in a moment, but just put in planet Earth, and then you just go to Google Images. Let's see. So any of these, let's just go ahead and share this, would be fine representations. So anything that is, it doesn't have to be, we don't have to have a map of the entire planet or precision. You can even use an illustration. It's something that is like a placeholder that holds the concept of that we're sending it out to all planet Earth. These Google images. Can we use the NASA one? None of these are letting me click on it here. Let's just see if I can quickly, is it showing it over here? Just want to take a picture of it. Let's see. I tell you, it's not being very easy on me here. Try this one. Is it showing it over here on the side? Is that what's happening? Just give me 1 minute. Okay, yeah, so let's just switch over. Let's make it easy. There we go. Okay, and I'm working with my iPad Pro, which I'm just holding here, and I'm mirroring it to our class today. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to our attendees that are with us live, and I'm going to ask for all of your voices to participate. So I'm going to quickly try to unmute everybody at the same time. So just keep your sort of quiet around you as I unmute everybody. And everybody, okay, wow, and you all are being shown here as well. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to just go down the list here. Thank you, everybody, for being here and being a part of this. Roy, you're back. Roy, it's good to have you coming back to class here. So try to keep quiet if you can until we're ready, possibly. And yeah, you may have to mute yourself for the moment. Let's see. All right, let's go ahead and record it and see what I can do. And I'll count you down here. I'm going to start recording in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording. Perfect, everybody. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. If you wouldn't mind trying to mute yourself while we're doing this, just remute yourselves and we'll just check on this. I can help you as well. Just go ahead if you can, just mute yourself. No, really appreciate it. It's going to take me a second there. I think everybody's remuted. Gosh, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Okay, so we got everybody, and even just now as we're doing this, you can even just keep your intention on what you'd like to see for the planet. In fact, if you want to put that into the chat, I'd love to hear what would be your ultimate outcome? How would you like to see the planet experience healing? What specifically would you like to happen? Would it be that people heal emotional wounds, that there's absolutely no more war? Would you like to see that people are able to freely exchange ideas? What would be representative to you that we have indeed achieved something positive here if we used our intention, if we could wave a magic wand through our intention, what would you like global healing to look like? We're now going to take the collective energy and that wonderful intention that we're using our voice as surrogates for anybody who would be willing to receive healing and experience healing today. And we're going to analyze the voice, and then we're going to move on to the picture. So for the picture, I'm going to use this representation by using this picture of planet Earth. So let's see if I can do that now and sort of get into the picture as well as possible. Or let's see if this does a little bit better. Maybe like that. That's a little bit better. Take that picture. And so even though it's a little bit cut off, that doesn't matter. We can use it that way. Again, it's just it's like a placeholder that's holding a place for the energy. And then we're going to analyze. Well, this should be really fun. Let's see what actually comes up. And a lot of it, the energy can speak through flower essences. So we're going to take a bit of a look at that as well. All right. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's even do an affirmation today. So complete healing on all dimensions, bringing forth a new peaceful planet. Let's see what some of you have said here. This is just one intention. There can be more, but we'll put that positive affirmation. A lot of times when you may watch me do class, you'll notice that I often will skip the energetic entrainment. And I want you to know that simply because of the time factor. When you kind of stop and ask your client, oh, hey, come up with a couple of words. What are the words that you'd like as the energetic entrainment? It kind of stops things in its tracks. But I do want to tell you that what the energetic entrainment really is, when you put those words in, your thoughts in to the energetic entrainment, what's happening is it's transmitting or translating that energy, that intention into a signal, into a mind, body, spirit frequency. That frequency plays in the background anytime you run any frequency. So that energy of the entrainment is woven into all of the balancing that you experience during the genius session. So turn all weapons into bubble guns, shooting frequencies of love. Well, Liz, I absolutely love your perspective there. I mean, let's do it right now. I like your sort of like very lighthearted perspective too. I think that's really valuable, just to keep a sense of humor and lightheartedness. Every vibration that we carry is translated to the whole planet. So as we keep lighthearted and see sort of the humor and the play of consciousness in all of this and sort of get some distance, you also give permission to other people. It truly is a 100th monkey experience on planet Earth. Like if a whole bunch of people meditate in one area, all of a sudden other people will feel compelled or that they're interested in meditating. We're sharing this consciousness, we're sharing energy all the time. And the genius allows you to focus that energy, to really keep that high energy. As you use the genius, there's a lot of things that happen. It's really raising your vibration, partially because it's bringing in new information. Information is something to really think about as it's related to energy. Why in some ways has time sort of speeded up on planet Earth? Time has sort of sped up on planet Earth because of the massive increase in the exchange of information on planet Earth. And so information is energy. And the more that you discover about yourself through the genius, you're raising your vibration, you're raising your awareness. Susie says, emotional healing, peace, love, and unity, community. Wow, you guys, this is going to be so fun. Look at this aura. Isn't it interesting? I think it's representing a lot of your energy is in here as a tribe. And Celine says, no more financial stress for people, no more pain and suffering. I love these intentions. Please continue to add your intentions and your thoughts, what you would like to see. Maybe we'll even create a library from your intentions for planetary global healing. So make sure to put your intentions I think one of the things to understand about it, if we are indeed stepping into the new earth, is here's something to think about. Now the keys of the universe go into your hand. You can now create anything that you want. What do you want to create? So when we have that moment where we stop and we take full accountability and responsibility for who we are and what we do and what our actions are, you can have that moment where you're no longer like in a victim stance, like this is happening to me, this is happening to the planet. It's like, whoa, let's just erase all of that, put the keys to the universe in your hand. What do you want it to look like? What would you want it? If you could wave a magic wand, what would you want it to see? So I think we're really stepping into that energy. So what else do you want to say about what would you like to see happen on the planet if we could just make it happen? Now, looking at this is really interesting. I want your thoughts. What are your first impressions about the aura when you see this? What are your first impressions or thoughts? So immediately I'm going to hide the avatar in a moment, but just right off the bat, you see that pink energy, all that healing energy, that seventh chakra energy, that's very high vibrational energy. That looks really interesting. I feel like that's very positive for the planet. I feel like that represents all the healers and everybody who's doing such positive work to heal the planet. There's something like the vitality and the energy is coming through. But then look at that second ring. Look how black and brown it is. Isn't that fascinating? I feel like that is the collective pain, the collective strife where people are really feeling like, man, I don't know if this is going to get better. I don't know what's going to happen. This is really stressful. I am experiencing whatever the financial stress, the isolation, the separation or the suppression, the censorship, whatever it is. I feel like that's really being expressed, or people who are in war zones right now. Obviously, people who just really are striving and want things to be improved, want things to be better. And you see, isn't that fascinating? Look at the black ring around that, because you see brown and then you see black. And so I think that's really interesting. And then it is surrounded by this very bright green. The very bright pink and the very bright green is something that you often see after you run solfeggios. It usually is it means this restoration of vibrancy. It means this restoration of energy, of vitality. We already have it in here, and it's green. It's all of that. I'm moving into a heart-centered space. We know that our heart has more intelligence. It has a greater field around it than the brain, right? The Egyptians would keep the heart. The brain is the first thing to be disposed of, but the heart stays. The heart is the driver of everything. Now we're stepping into a new age where we really recognize that, where we really know it. And then we've got this interesting blue energy, which is all about clear communication. Like I said at the beginning of class, something that's wonderful is that human beings are wired to want to know the truth. There's something like enlightenment or new awareness that drives you. It's like your evolution, like you evolving, impingent or necessary for your evolution is, hey, you need to know the truth. When the truth is hidden, when it's suppressed, when it's taken from you, there's a part of you that is not able to really come into existence or presence. And so we have within us this deep desire to know the truth. And I think it's a fundamental right of each human being that searches for the truth, to the information to be as much as possible to be made available. And I think when we experience and know the truth, something happens within us that's very, very profound. And it helps us to make new decisions and to move in different directions. So I think that's what the communication, the blue energy, the speaking the truth, the authenticity, and also the desire to increase communication is coming through. Now let's go ahead and hide the avatar here. And so interesting. So wow, look how bright that pink energy is. Other ideas about this aura, please go ahead and send it into the chat and we'll read your ideas as well. So orange is second chakra, creativity. We do need the creative energy. It's sexual energy too. It's that, sexuality, but it's also, creating a new earth, creating a new reality. You need that second chakra. Those energies are all interwoven together. And that beautiful orange is, we have creative ideas for changing the planet. I got a lot of good ideas. I've got a lot of creative energy for bringing in the new earth, for bringing in the new energy. Okay, and let's see if you had any thoughts about the aura. Any thoughts? If you have your own interpretation of the aura, I didn't see anything come through, but you can still do that. All right, so now let's have some fun. So this is globally. Let's look at today's stress. So let's look at today's stress and see what we have. Pathogens. So collectively, pathogens, heavy metal toxicity, inflammation, bacteria, brain stress, lymphatics, being too acid. So this can tell us sort of about the global reading, the global wellness or health of the planet. Collectively, when we come together, this is what we're experiencing. Infection, adrenal stress, no kidding. Blood sugar imbalances, emotional stress, hormonal stress, and immune stress. Doesn't this tell the whole story in a lot of ways? Knowing what we're experiencing with toxicity on the planet, that really makes a lot of sense why we might be experiencing that. Now let's go ahead and we're going to go to flower essences. And I'm going to need to grab a book here because I want to do some reading on this. Now, flower essences, if you want to do a global healing, flower essences is a fabulous way for you to do your own global healing or your own group healing, because the flower essences have a really important message to tell us. And they also are profound when you run these energies and you help to work out these emotional energies in people. It's really far reaching. So you could even just do a quick balance with the flower essences, and then we can put them into the tray. Let's put all the reds and all of the blues into the tray. And I'm going to wait until we get to progressive insights and then we'll look at them. But scleranthus, just as one, is really trying to figure out, it's having two different directions and not sure which direction we want to go. And so maybe a lot of people at this time are experiencing that. And if you do a group, then it might be a lot of people in the group. It might be a lot of people in this group, trying to decide between, two choices. And I know Elm is weighed down by responsibility, I think there is when you hear everything that's going on, you can't help but feel sort of a bit of heaviness, and sometimes I just want to, break from all of it. It's like, politics, yes, it's important, but I feel like it's the thinking about politicians or thinking about what they're saying. It feels like you're tapping into the most low vibrational energy that you could ever tap into. And I find myself just, gosh, I really want to participate or have my thoughts focus on higher energies, higher thoughts, higher, spiritual maybe teachings or something than, the latest tweet or something about what somebody in the government might be doing. But yet we have to be aware and sort of know, in some ways what's going on. So another thing to focus on is there's so many things you can focus on that you can draw different conclusions or get new ideas about what might be going on planetarily. To look at some of this, let's go ahead and look at some of the custom libraries, and let's find some collective affirmations that we can use for the planet. So let's go ahead and see what we've got here. And let's do a quick test of all the custom libraries and see what we come up with. And then we'll look at some of the Bach flower essences in more details, again, to guide us, like what are people thinking about? What direction are they heading in? And where can we kind of put the energy? Can we kind of use our intention to direct the energy? Now, I think I had some global healing and world peace. Let's see what's in here. Unconditional love, releasing the energy of illusion and fear, joy, peace and harmony, forgiveness. So this, I thought we had more than this. So we have global detox. That's a little bit different. We have, gosh, I have to go back. I think it was something like positive outcome for all. I know we've done a couple of these. Let's see, positivity frequencies. What's in this one? Oh, this is like radionics. This is a radionics one. Emotions of joy, bliss, and more. Let's bring some of these positive emotions into the picture. And then let's just do affirmations. So let's do some physical affirmations. We have affirmations for rejuvenation and longevity. Let's bring up some of those in here and we'll look at them. It's going to be interesting to see what some of the top ones are. You know, if so many people took part in the, let's just call it the experiment, then you can bring up things like V clear or V shed, and you can do that for the whole planet. So imagine all the people who didn't know what they were doing, didn't mean to do that thing, and you could go in your genius. And you always say, you know, only for those who are willing to accept it, because there is free will. Maybe some people did that and that's what their, you know, subconscious intention was. But for those people who would be willing to accept these healing frequencies, I go into V clear, I go into V shed, and I run those frequencies, and maybe just globally all over the world, maybe a lot of that begins to be cleared. I just want you to know what the ultimate, you know, capacity of your genius is, the potential. As long as you're saying, my intention is for people who are willing to accept this. Let's go now into progressive insights, and let's see amongst the affirmations and the different flower essences, what are the ones that percolate up to the top? Wow. As a global 8 billion people, our biggest problem right now is hormonal imbalance. Isn't that really fascinating? So you can get so much insight, so much pieces of information from the genius. It really is truly exciting, you know, to see this. And then Larch of the entire planet, and for us collectively, the top flower essence is Larch. Now, Larch is about gaining confidence. And I wonder if this is telling us and encouraging us to gain confidence that, yes, collectively, when we think these things collectively, when we work on ourselves personally, it is possible to move into this new earth that we do see in our mind's eye, which is one of peace, which is one where war is ended, which is one where people are able to help each other to heal naturally from things from the planet, that we do live an abundant life, a life where people are financially abundant, where everybody's needs are met. All these things are things that I think that we believe are possible and we're wanting, and even maybe we expected to see in this life, right? We've been thinking about it. We thought, oh, gosh, I thought this was going to be like a kind of a different scenario right here. But maybe it's the, you know, it's always darkest before the dawn. And so Larch, maybe it's just our confidence in believing that we can bring this into fruition. The B cells in my body are functioning perfectly and are able to protect my body from pathogens. Isn't that interesting? All of these, I can guarantee you, like those top 10 are extremely significant. Now, if you'd like to, those of you who are on the live with me here, if you'd like to put your email into the chat, I will start sending these out as exports to your capsule and we can have some fun. See, isn't this more fun than humans were previously allowed to have? You know, I absolutely love doing this and love sharing this with you. So another thing that you can do, we had a class yesterday on the remedy plate, and we talked about the power of the remedy plate. So you can take this energy. So I'm going to start sending some frequencies out. Thank you so much, Liz. I'm going to send it out to you and anybody else who has their quantum capsule. So I'm going to switch out my connection here, and I'm going to use one of the plates. So we talked yesterday all about plates. This is a triple remedy plate, triple layer one. You can find this at geniusbiofeedback.com, or maybe you have your own plate, which is perfectly fine. But did you know that you can use your plate as a broadcaster? So we're going to do that. I'm going to choose all of the high items. My reflector just went off. Let's see if we can get it back. I'm going to use all of my high items. Maybe I might not be able to because of the might not be able to do the broadcasting. Potentially, you can do broadcasting on your own. What I could do is I could take this plate and connect it and then play the frequencies to broadcast it. So you could broadcast this to a person. You can use your intention to broadcast it like to your home, but you're intending to broadcast it to the planet. Or you can even just broadcast it to a picture or a poster of planet Earth. So there are lots of different ways that you can do this. Okay, come on. Come on now, cooperate. It's because I changed the connection, so then it went offline. Let's see if we can make this happy now. Yep, okay. My liver is very capable of clearing an exogenous estrogens and completely eliminating. Guys, I love this because it's telling us the story of collectively on planet Earth where we are having the most problems. And because there are so many toxins circulating on the Earth, herbicides, pesticides, plastics, certainly hormones that are in meat, that are in dairy, that my liver is capable of clearing exogenous estrogens completely. And so in the reverse, it suggests that people are suffering from this estrogen dominance issue due to toxicity on the planet. So that's absolutely fascinating because it's referring to things that we're experiencing collectively. The ability to effectively produce cortisol is now restored to my body. So now when you flip this around, what is the interpretation? That many people on the planet are experiencing like, I'm exhausted. This is all exhausting me. Collectively, we're burned out. Our adrenals are very tired. So, something like this can give all of you here, all of you healers, ideas about what classes and what sessions and what topics you want to offer to your population. This is almost like using artificial intelligence, except it's natural intelligence, not artificial, to tap into. These are like, hey, what are the top 10 issues that I need to address for my clients? And it's really interesting. This is communicating it to us. So if you want to work on immunity, immune frequencies, the B cells in my body are dealing, right, to protect my body from pathogens. You guys did you read about the news from China this morning, all about pneumonia? And that's something, maybe just Google that and just read it. I won't talk about it too much. The ability to produce cortisol. Memory. Oh my goodness. This is a Grabovoi number sequence for improving memory. Isn't that fascinating? I'm just blown away. Immune system, hormones, adrenals, and memory issues. Like it's like telling us the news right here as we test the entire planet together collectively. It's telling us what the issues are. All of my neuroreceptors are completely regenerated, and I'm able to respond to input for optimized health. My thyroid hormone receptors are now healed and able to respond optimally in order to regulate, brain, thyroid, right? These issues. And then ELM is that weighed down by responsibility. Let's now go ahead and we're going to show how to export to the capsule. So I'm going to be sending this to the emails that are listed here. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking at the chat here of the emails that are coming in. And what I can do is I copy it from the chat, and then I'm going to be able to, assuming that life cooperates here. Okay, I have to do this here. And then I paste it, and then I can add it. And so once again, I can grab this here, copy it, and paste it. Okay, what are your thoughts about maybe the aura, what came up on the aura, or are you doing some testing on your own genius right now? You might want to tell us a little bit about what came up for you or what you're seeing on your genius, anything on yours. And we're going to look at a couple of the other frequencies as well. Thank goodness we didn't have a huge turnout today because I probably wouldn't be able to do it, but let's see if we can do it right now. If not, I can go back later and find the chat records and then share this out that way. So I'm just going to do as many as I can at this moment. And this is just a fun way to show if you were doing a group, this would be another way. You could also do it after the group is complete. You can have everybody's email and you can send it out afterwards. You could send it out during. I love this because it gets people to participate. It gets people to know that they can run the frequencies over the next 7 days until maybe you come back and meet with your group again. It's just great fun. It's a great way to connect people, whether you're doing it over in Zoom or just do it in person, in your community. Doing it physically in person, people can bring water bottles. You can use your remedy plate and you can imprint water for them as a group. People absolutely love that. And like I said, it's a great way to build your practice, even if you just do it as a free event. What things you offer for free, you're putting the energies out there. And as you give that energy out to the universe, it comes back to you many, many times. Okay. I'm going to add that. And now all we have to do is go ahead and hit the OK here. And it's actually, all right. Some people, naughty, some people gave emails that are actually not registered. So some of your emails are actually not registered. So you can't just be a genius user. You have to be a quantum capsule user. So what I'll do is I'll try to go back and export. But apparently if one of you have given me an email that's not valid, then maybe let's see if it sent the export. Did anybody get the frequencies? check in your email and see if you received the frequencies. Maybe it just didn't go to, okay. Let's go ahead and look at this. And let's see, I guess it didn't export. I didn't see an export. So maybe just check and make sure that you actually have your quanta capsule activated. Anyway, let's go ahead and we'll play the frequencies here for a minute. And okay, out of the libraries I have put in, oh, you received it in your email. You did receive it. Okay, that's great. Okay, good. Yay! So it didn't matter. So if there's one person who gives a not valid quanta capsule, the other people will still get the email, which is really, really good. Because I know sometimes you don't know what's registered, what's not registered. You're not sure. Maybe it got inactivated. I totally understand that. Out of the libraries I've put in okay. Out of the libraries I've put in autoimmune harmonization, animal anxiety, powerful results now, home blessing, and land clearing. Okay, so those are the ones that came up. Yeah, it really tells you the autoimmune issues have come up big time since 2021. I think you all know what I'm saying. Wink, wink, nod, nod, why they've come up. So Ruth says Bach flower essences, meridians, vitamins, stress sensitivities, herbs. These are ones that maybe you put in. Ruth, did you put them into your tray? I was asking just which of the custom libraries may have come up. Yes, I received it in my email. Liz says I didn't. Liz, make sure that that one is your actual quanta capsule email. Just go ahead and check. So no email yet. So Susie, maybe you're the only one who got it. We'll try again. We'll do a couple of emails. Okay. So now what we're going to do, I want to also show you a rescan. So we got 30% rectification, and now we're going to go ahead and do a rescan. So let's rescan everything here. And now it says any perfluorooctanoic acid is easily detoxified by my liver and cleansed by my body. My thyroid hormone receptors are now healed and am able to respond optimally in order to regulate metabolism. Tolerance. Wow, isn't that interesting? Wow, you guys, I hope you'll go back to go back to this today or maybe in the next couple of days. And you can even do it as a presentation for your own client base, because this is telling the story. Like, isn't it so true? Like, we need to develop tolerance. There's nothing like trying to get people into a dualistic argument. So it's us and them, it's Democrat and Republican, it's people V or they're anti-V, it's people who are on the side of one side of Palestine or on the side of the other side of Israel. You know, that's just like, even if you feel your own emotional body, when I say even the mentioning those countries and you just polarize naturally, there, you know, there's an effort to do that. And remember that, you know, when you study Buddhism or you study spirituality, it says, you know, beyond sin and virtue, beyond good and bad, beyond the concepts, like the real enlightenment for people is beyond joy and sadness. Like, we do seek joy naturally, but but joy can come in really good times. And then there's a polarity. We have good times, we have bad times, we have bad times, we have good times. It's always vacillating back and forth. And people might say wonderful things about us. They might say awful things about us. It's like, where do we find our equanimity? Where we find our equanimity, we find true peace of mind. We find true contentment. It's one of the biggest struggles of human beings. And there seems to be an incredible effort to divide people, to get people on one angry side or the other. And so it's interesting just about the concept of tolerance. You know, tolerance of our own, you know, foibles, of ourselves, being less self-critical, and also tolerant to others, other ideas, other people, no matter, you know, which side they're on. How do we become more tolerant? You know, well, you are obviously wrong and I am right. All of these people on this particular side are wrong and I'm right. I'm going to now watch all the channels and listen to all of the gurus, or, you know, to support my rightness. And the thing is, it's just really, you know, detrimental for any of us to be pulled into a polarizing point of view. Try to find the equanimity, try to find the truth, take some time to really cultivate that understanding. So interesting about tolerance. And I love the tolerance. The Grabovoi number starts with the number 8 because there's so much power. I love, and the energy of infinity is in the number 8. So tolerance, the Grabovoi configuration here is 80776. Heavy metal toxicity. I'm now able to properly methylate completely for healthy detoxification and rejuvenation. Willow, mustard. So we'll have to look at some of these flower essences. The cells of my adrenal glands are now well able to produce cortisol. So as we go into the rescan, we're still getting information about adrenal energy. I'm going to read some of your comments in just a moment. So let's go ahead and look at this in a little bit more detail. Let's see if we go to the Bach flower essence. It's funny, my iPad continues to lock in 30 seconds. Just the whole iPad Apple thing, you have to put in your password, even though you're in your fuzzy slippers in your own home, you always have to put in your password. If you don't put in your password, you can't have certain goodies. Don't get me started. Okay, so Willow encourages the positive potential to forgive and forget past injustices and enjoy life. Combat negativity, the consequences of resentment, and gain a sense of humor when life presents shortcomings. Isn't that amazing? It encourages the positive potential. That's exactly what we're trying to do today. And forget past injustices and enjoy life. Combat negativity, the consequences of resentment, and gain a sense of humor when life presents shortcomings. Don't be a victim, control your own destiny. All about the energy of Willow. Okay. So people are posting some of the things that came up in custom libraries. Absolutely love it. Okay, so yeah, it's I registered but no emails. I'm registered but no email. I'll have to send it after class so I can get everybody's email from the chat. If there's one person, there's always one. If there's one person who's not registered, then the entire export does not go through. So it's all good, right? All right. And so then the next one over here is mustard. I really love this concept that you could do this for your own group of clients because it's absolutely fascinating. We're touching exactly on the high points, maybe, or the low points, which indicate the problems that we're facing in the world today. And mustard is when you feel like there's a dark cloud hanging over your head. Let's see what we got here. Trying to get over here. No. Okay. Not helping. I'm trying to do a couple of things at the same time. And we're just trying to get, I know that mustard is when you just feel like there's a dark cloud overhead, which suggests that people really want to clear out that dark cloud and they really want to move into a place of positivity. Okay, there we go. The negative mustard state cannot be hidden as the suffer turns completely inward, with all energies directed toward living through an overpowering gloom. I mean, doesn't that really tell you, exactly what people are experiencing? So let's do one more rescan. I don't know if you do this in your practice, but what a rescan does is it allows you to peel the layers of the onion. And each time you're moving into deeper stuff, you're sort of blowing off the superficial layer, and it's allowing you to drill down more deeply into deeper emotional wounds, really getting to the core issues. All right, so let's go back to this one. My liver enzymes are working well, so I'm well able to release toxins. Again, we have a massive need for a detox, for a liver cleanse. This could be emotional, right? The seed of anger being in the liver, and this could just be all the toxins that people are trying to get out of their body, including the experiment. You guys all know what I'm talking about. Releasing the illusion of fear. My gallbladder is able to concentrate and store bile efficiently. Again, liver and gallbladder going together with the theme of needing to detox. All right, and fulfillment. So now it looks like we're going towards an energy, a positive energy that we're moving into. But this is what people ultimately want. It's funny that Grabovoi uses the number 9 because 9 is that completion. 90464, completion. 4s are a lot about stability, fulfillment. So it suggests to me an energy that we may be able to move into. And then we've got another flower essence. Again, these energies from the flower essences are incredibly transformative. You want to use those in all of your sessions. Make sure you're always using, if not the Bach flowers, use the living orchid essences, or use the Alaskan essences, or use the South African essences. These are all available, geniusbiofeedback.com. Tomorrow, they're 30% off, so it's going to be a great deal on any libraries that you want to get for yourself. Okay, so Wild Rose is moving past apathy. It's interesting, you know, when we're faced with something that's so colossal, like the things that we're facing today, you do get apathetic at times. At least I do, because you just think, gosh, I just want to walk away from the whole thing and I just give up, which is the energy of Wild Rose. It's resignation. It's just, you just need a break. You're just going to completely go on vacation, turn the phone off, not do anything, because you're too overwhelmed by everything that's going on. So the benefits of Wild Rose include overcoming apathy, spurring motivation, and energy to make life changes. It can help to address a number of specific emotional issues, like overcoming apathy. Do you feel like you simply don't care anymore? Have you lost all motivation, or feel like you're just going through the motions of life? Wild Rose Essence can help to overcome the apathetic, I don't care anymore feelings, and encourage you to just show up for life. I'm sure a lot of young people maybe even feel that way today. Like, why should I care about any of this? Just too overwhelming. So just really fun to read these different parts. And as you use your genius more, you're going to get even better, where even your intuition comes into it, and you're able to better put the pieces together, either individual or collective, and see how everything sort of fits together. Because we can see the theme. The theme today is liver and hormones. Like, I mean, we want to think about maybe doing a New Year's detox for your group of people, because there's a tremendous need for people to cleanse their liver and to get those exogenous estrogens out of their body in order to balance their hormones. All right. Sorry, it's me. I'm unregistered, a bit behind in the process. You're so honest, Angie. It's no problem. Total forgiveness here. It's not a big deal. It happens to the best of us. Let's do one more rescan, and then we're going to check the aura in just a moment. And we're going to finish up in just a little bit here. I will get everybody the final frequencies that we do. You'll get the high items. We'll send them in the capsule. I'm going to continue to probably play the frequencies, for about the next 30 minutes to really keep the energy going. We're going to look at the aura in just a moment. Any inflammation along the mucosa of my gut, so that's leaky gut, that happens a lot when you're exposed to toxins, when you're experiencing emotional stress, when you're eating maybe, GMO foods or whatever it might be, or not eating well. Any inflammation along the mucosa of my gut now reduces so that my digestion can be optimized and my immune system can be calmed. Imagine sending that out to 8 billion people around the world. And hey, whoever is willing to receive it, may you receive it. May you be healed of your leaky gut at this time. I love this concept of using the genius for this. And, as you really expand out your intention, so you receive back an even bigger energy. As you put out all that positive energy, also feel this upliftment. You feel that you receive all of this new and positive energy. So expand your intention for maybe of one time a week that you do sort of global healing as you go through your week, of one time that you save to do this. And you really do get a lot, even just from the increased level of awareness. Look at everything that we've learned today. So we've got adrenal, constancy, reliability, blood sugar, encouragement, hopefulness. Now, isn't it interesting? And in 1 minute, we went right to 50% rectification. Isn't it fascinating that now we're moving into more positive energy? I find that to be completely fascinating. So Larch comes up again, still working. Now, another thing I want you to see in your cases is when you're doing balancing, and we have 108 items in the tray, and out of 108 items, Larch came up, in the fourth peeling of the layer. It means it's still kind of a stuck energy for us collectively to know, there are very few people who hold the power, and there are many, many more of us. And somehow we're still in that infancy stage where it's like, can I own my power? Can we move into our power? Can we do this collectively? And the ultimate answer is yes, but we're still sort of getting our sea legs and trying to figure this out if we actually can do it. Forgiveness. My natural killer cells are present in the perfect amount to reduce any tumors for the word turbo cancer, anybody? To reduce any tumors. Imagine, again, sending this out to 8 billion people. My natural killer cells are now present in the perfect amount to reduce any tumors and optimize natural immune system function. Vitality, joy, willow. My gut is clear of all infections that could compromise good digestion. Honeysuckle is being nostalgic about the past. You know, anybody find themselves going, oh my God, life was a lot easier in 2019. Going back and saying, wow, I didn't realize how easy life was back then. It was like a dream. But all these things were going on behind the scenes that we didn't know about. Of course, my gut is clear of all infections that could compromise good digestion. I said that all gallstones are easily dissolved. Do you see the theme? The liver, the gallbladder, the hormones. Again, the desire for fulfillment comes up. Now we see wild rose also comes up again right below that vervain and impatience, and a lot of flower essences are coming up. So a lot of desire, a lot of wanting to use this, get this emotional clarity and move past that drifting and resignation and really get resolution, move into that feeling of satisfaction, that feeling of fulfillment that's up there. That's a Grabovoi number. Grabovoi came up with these numerical sequences in order to create certain states, create certain outcomes. Vervain is people who are perfectionists with a keen sense of justice. I wonder if that applies to anybody on here today. They are blessed with extreme mental energy that they are willingly throw themselves into the causes they believe in. The vervain enthusiasm can be infectious, and they feel a strong need to persuade others to their own point of view. So when people are in that vervain energy, it can be a little draining. But in extreme, they are in danger of becoming fanatics, unable to listen to alternative points of view. Who do you know like that? And they may be putting themselves under a great deal of stress because they find it so hard to switch off and relax. So this could relate to a lot of different themes, like people who really do passionately feel like they're fighting for freedom, they're fighting for justice, but it causes a drain, causes an imbalance. Anytime we go into duality, light and dark, good and bad, they're right, they're wrong, I'm right, that type of mentality, you can find yourself when you're in that dualistic state. Ultimately, you're going to find yourself in potentially some exhaustion, some being drained. So vervain comes up in order to balance that out. It's good to work on making things better. And of course, moral compass, we want people to work for justice. But you have to make sure you take care of yourself and it doesn't get out of balance. Okay, so let's go back to the aura and let's see the rescan on the aura. So here's the before aura. So let's go ahead and get a rescan to look at it and to see what we get in the progressed aura here. We just did a class on auras. It's on my YouTube channel. We did it on Monday. You can go watch the recording. Go to my channel on YouTube, Ariel Policano on YouTube. Please do subscribe. And we have that aura class from just a couple of days ago, and you can watch and look for the aura and the different meaning. Wow, isn't that interesting? That is fascinating. So let's look at the comparison. Let's go here to the pictures. And let's go to this one here. And I have to adjust this screen here. All right, so that's the before, and this is the after here. So the before, we'll do the other one. Now look at that black ring, and now look at the after one, and it is completely gone. I do think some of it has been pushed to the edges there. There's still some static, but wow, the sun is coming out. It looks great. All of that healing energy. Let's go ahead. Let's go back to the genius here, and let's hide the avatar, and we'll take a picture and compare those as well. Let's go back up here. Okay, so this was the before, and this is the after. Before and after. It looks to me like collectively we've gone in to really bring love in, to really resolve a lot of that emotional energy, to bring in, to really heal with our hearts. And it also looks like we really worked on that digestion, on that liver aspect, on the whole digestive organs aspect as well. All right, so let's see what some of you have to say here. There's a lemon yellow center here as well. Okay, that's wonderful. And Okay, no problem there. So this is something that anybody could do. You could do now. You could do, and I do think this is, of all the things that we can think about what we want to do, this is one of the most powerful things that we can do. And so we're really lucky to have quantum biofeedback kind of in our life today, given what we can do with it and what we can achieve. Today we used a really great library, which is called Positivity. So you can find that on the website, geniusbiofeedback.com. And that's all the positive emotions with those numbers connected to them that you see there. So that's a really great library all about positive emotions, and they're coming through a lot with this. My pancreas produces the optimal amount of amylase. My hypothalamus, it's interesting, it's switching a little bit from all that focus on liver gallbladder. It's changing a little bit, although I do see a liver one there. Courage and bravery, my pineal gland, all perfluoro octanoic acid, PFOA, that's in the environment. It's PFOA is it's like on the surface of cookware, and it's also, maybe it's in the air. It comes from different industry. It's probably in different things, surfaces that people are eating off of, but it's very pervasive in the environment. It's interesting. I think it's tapping into some of the pervasive toxins in the environment. So this is how to conduct the global healing. You put in the earth as being the client. You put in the present day. You can choose the gender as male or female. You then record everybody's voice with their intention of speaking for the entire planet. Or you can use your singular voice as a surrogate for the energy of the entire planet. And then you add in, that would be anybody who's willing to accept these frequencies at this time. Wow, we're getting a high level of rectification on that. That's amazing. 60% rectification. Did you notice how our rectifications have gone up over time? Isn't that fascinating? And then you basically, run whatever libraries seem appropriate, especially focusing on these emotional energies. And I think, everybody on here, you've received the frequencies, the whole planet receives the frequencies. And I believe this is one of the best, when you think about all the things you could go out and do, to really be one of the most powerful things that you can do to change the planetary energy. So I hope that this has been helpful in some way for you today. And I just wanted to come on today and do a global healing with you, something you can do while you're sort of preparing for your Thanksgiving dinner, getting ready to travel somewhere. And we are having a lot of Black Friday specials, 30% off. And I think what I'm going to be doing is some live streams to talk about different libraries. So that'll probably be happening starting tomorrow. I'll let everybody know about those. We do have an affiliate challenge going on where we're giving away a number of tablets. And so you can sign up for that at geniusbiofeedback.com. We also have Black Friday specials on packages, libraries, remedy plates. All of those things are on the website under the Black Friday special, and you can check them out there. I really appreciate each and every one of you being part of our community. This is an amazing community, and I know we're going to continue to do great things into the new year. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, everybody. Thanks for joining today. Lots of peace and joy to you, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye for now.